Hi everybody, today we're going to take another look at this sorting diagram from yesterday. This is what we call a Venn diagram, and it can be used to sort things into different groups. In front of you, you can see throwing sports and running sports. And yesterday during Quizzy Monday, you put sports into the category you thought they belonged in. But there's something lots of people missed. This middle section here. Sure, this side, throwing sports, and this side, running sports, but what about where these two circles overlap? It's a bit easier to see with a splash of colour. We've got a yellow section, a red section, and then this orangey section in the middle. This middle section is for sports that are throwing sports and running sports. They're in both groups, so they go in the middle section of the Venn diagram. Let's look at these together. Relay is a running sport. You run around the track and you hand the baton or stick to your running mate, your teammate, and then it's their turn to run. Hammer is a throwing sport. You spin round and round in a circle, and then you throw a large metal ball attached to a cord as far as you can. It's a throwing sport. Javelin is both. You take a long run up and then you throw the javelin as far as you can. Javelin is a bit like a spear, but you have to run up before you throw it. So javelin is a throwing sport and a running sport. Let's keep looking at these. Marathon is a running sport, a long distance run. Shot put, or hurdles, is also a running sport. You jump over hurdles as you run around the track. Shot put is a throwing sport, a heavy metal ball that you have to hold to your shoulder and push as far as you can. No running there, just throwing. 100 meters is a running sport. You run in a straight line as fast as you can for 100 meters. Rugby is both. It's a running sport and a throwing sport because you throw the ball to your teammates. That's why rugby goes in the middle section, running sports and throwing sports. Discus is next, and that's a throwing sport. It's a bit like a frisbee. You spin round on the spot and throw it as far as you can. And 1500 meters is a running sport. Sports that aren't throwing sports or running sports go outside the diagram, like swimming, for example. Let's look at another example so you feel a little bit more confident with your sorting diagrams. In this Venn diagram, we have team sports and ball sports. Relay is a team sport. You run around the track and then you give the baton to the teammate and it's their turn to run. It's a bit like when we do cyclone at beach games. Tennis is a ball sport. Now, some people will say you can play tennis in a team. For this example, tennis is a ball sport. The next one, though, is hockey, which is a team sport that you use a ball for. So it's a ball sport and a team sport, so it goes in the middle section. Rowing is a team sport. You sit in a boat with other members of your team and you row as fast as you can to try and beat another boat with another team. The next one is the most dangerous sport in the world, cheerleading. It has more injuries than any other sport, and it's a team sport. They do lots and lots of dangerous moves where they throw their teammates up in the air and then catch them again. Another ball sport is golf. Some people will say you can play golf in a team. Most of the time when people are on the golf course at Diani, they're playing a ball sport on their own against other people. Football, though, is definitely a team sport. You play with people on your team and you try to beat the other team. An example of a sport that isn't a team sport or a ball sport is Taekwondo. So it goes outside the diagram. All of the ones in the yellow circle are team sports. All of the ones in the red circle are ball sports. And where they overlap in this middle section, they are team sports and ball sports. Right, it's over to you now. You've got this activity on your class dojo. It's your job to sort these shapes into the sorting diagram. Look at them carefully. Do they have curved faces? If they do, they go in the yellow circle. Do they have flat faces? If they do, they go in the red circle. If it's got a curved face and a flat face, it goes in the middle section. How you complete this is up to you. You can print it off, cut the shapes out, and stick them in the right place. You can print it off, write the words of the shapes in the right place. Or if you don't have a printer, that's fine. Find a nice big piece of paper and a plate or a bowl to draw 2 circles around with an overlapping section, and then write the names of the shapes into the sorting diagram. Curved faces, flat faces, curved faces and flat faces. Send me a photo on Class Dojo when you've finished. This is just our recap because lots of people found this tricky yesterday. But this is all I would like you to do for maths on Class Dojo today.